You know, Nikon's been cutting a wide swath in the digital SLR market lately, from the entry-level D40 that sells at a really ridiculously low price, to the latest Uber cameras, the D300 and the D3 that we saw last summer in Japan, and are now coming to this country. I'm here with Lindsay Silverman, Senior Technical Manager for Nikon. He's going to tell us about the replacement for the D40X, the D60. So Lindsay, who's this camera intended for?
Well, this is a camera that's for anybody who enjoys their photography but doesn't necessarily like the process of taking pictures. The D60, like its cousin, the D40X, is a very easy camera to use, offers an abundance of help menus to guide people if they're not sure of how to take a picture. It's also for people who are new to SLR photography, who might have at one point been intimidated by the whole idea of shooting a camera with interchangeable lenses. And let's face it, Dave, we know that there are a lot of people out there who have higher end cameras, like even our own D300, that might not want to always take a D300 with them.
Great, so let's talk about some of the features that are new on this camera. What can you tell us that's new, that's been added, that's been updated?
Well, one of the more exciting features is the whole issue of dust reduction. And you know that Nikon's been very active for many years with dust reduction technology. We first saw it on the D2H through the NEF file, where we can map the NEF, and then through Nikon software you can eliminate dust. Well, now there's much more sophisticated ways of doing that. And what we've done is we've added the dust control system of the new D300 that can actually shake the dust off of the optical low pass filter. But we looked even further than that to where is the dust actually coming from? And we realized that there could be residual dust in the mirror box. So the D60 becomes the very first camera with an airflow dust reduction system that actually will take the dust that's in the viewfinder, that's in the mirror box area, and as the mirror swings up to take a picture, that turbulence created by the mirror moving up will force the dust through a venting system at the bottom of the mirror box of D60, forcing the dust out of the camera into a receptacle that holds it. So I think what's exciting is that you can turn the camera on and get the vibrating dust system, turn the camera off and get the vibrating dust system, but now shot to shot, reduce the effects of dust, which are very, very annoying in anybody's pictures.
Makes a lot of sense. And there's some other features having to do with editing images in the camera?
Yeah, that's one of the neat things about D60, like the D40 and the D40X. We think it's really neat to be able to take a picture that you've already taken and in the camera do some things that once required software and a computer to do. For instance, you can reduce red eye, you can crop the image in camera, you can even create a black and white from a color image. But what we've done is we added a couple of fun features. One is a digital cross-star filter. You can add a 4-point, a 6-point, or an 8-point filter. You can adjust the length of the filter, the frequency that it's on there, and the camera will create a copy with the picture that's got a cross-star. I'm a big fan of filters and used to use the add-on filters back in the film days. This just does it digitally, and it does it in a very, very fluid way. Another thing we can do that is just a bunch of fun, and I know is going to create a lot of interest, is stop motion movies. Oh, yeah. You can shoot up to 100 images in the camera, full resolution JPEG images, and then in the camera, in the stop motion effects section of the retouch menu, you can select the resolution from 640 by 480 and a couple of resolutions down, so if you want to post it on the web or use it in a presentation, you can do that. You can adjust the frame rate of your movie, 3 frames per second up to 15 frames per second, and then you select the beginning of the movie where you want it to start, and then you can select where you want it to end, and in camera, the camera will stitch it together and produce a terrific stop motion movie that outputs as an AVI file, and I think that's just a lot of fun.
Any other aspects of the product we need to know about?
Yeah, we've improved the LCD, which was already a terrific looking LCD, and what we can do now is there's an orientation sensor in the camera, and so as you turn the camera, all relevant shooting information will change with you, whether it's vertical or horizontal, whether you're on the graphic mode, or whether you're on the classic mode, or whether you're even using wallpaper. There's also an eye sensor on top, so as you put the camera to your eye, notice the LCD went off. And that also helps if you keep the camera on and you've got it attached to to your shoulder, it won't drain the batteries unnecessarily, it'll turn the LCD off. So I think that's another one of those features that'll really help people with their photography.
That's great. And you showed me when we were talking earlier a user interface thing with the mode dial on the LCD.
Oh yeah, I have my camera set so that when I'm in the digital vary programs, I have the graphic display on. So as I turn my command dial on top of the camera, it's just as though I'm looking at the top of the camera. It rotates with me to tell me what setting I'm on. So now you can fully gauge and look at the back of your LCD and make all the appropriate adjustments to the camera without having to glance down at the top of the camera. And it's illuminated, so you can do it in any light, which is a really big help.
Oh, that's nice, yeah. And obviously in the dark, you have a hard time seeing with the mode dial.
Exactly, so now you can see it. It's great.
Great. And what's this camera going to be selling for, and when's it going to be available?
It's going to sell for $749.95 with the AFS VR 18 to 55. And it will start to ship late February, early March.
Well, there you have it, the D60 from Nikon, a neat sounding new camera, and a replacement for the very popular D40X.